Hi, I'm Robin, and today I'm going to talk about the topic of my research paper. I'm doing my research paper on the environment and all of the waste that Americans use every single day. Some of the major topics that I want to talk about is the fast fashion industry and grocery store industries and how these industries that we use every day without really thinking about it can lead to lots of landfill, pollution, and just negative effects on the environment. So first, the fast fashion industry. In this day and age, it's really normal for everyone to frequently buy clothes every month, especially teenagers in that age. And this industry there has been found to be a lot of problems with this industry, such as a lot of the companies use unethical ways of production, such as low wages, usually in other countries, low wages, bad hours, and just the whole work environment that the workers are in is a very bad industry, and it's outside of our country, so we don't have all sorts of control over that. Also, this industry affects the environment negatively, and this is the main thing that I'm going to be talking about with the fashion industry, because the way they produce clothing is unethical for the environment, the chemicals that they release. And in my paper, I want to go into detail about how just the way they produce it is not okay for the environment. And also, something that the fast fashion industry does that affects our environment is the way they advertise clothing and really influence consumers to keep buying and getting rid of their old clothes, and just make them feel like they need to keep buying clothes and keep up with trends, which is really bad for the environment, as we're starting to think of clothes as disposable, which they're not. And also, they put them at a really low price, which looks good to everyone, but they last less amount of time than high quality clothes, and it's just not good for the environment. So I'd like to talk about that in my paper. And I would also like to talk about zero waste stores. This is something that I've been really interested in and I learned about last year. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of zero waste stores in Idaho, but I watched a video on zero waste stores, and they're basically grocery stores where you can bring your own containers. You don't have to buy the prepackaged everything with the trash, which if you notice, you go to the grocery store, there's tons of trash involved in shopping there. All the containers for the food and cleaners. So I'd like to talk about how we should be making more zero waste stores, opening them throughout the country, because it's obviously a really good idea for the environment, something that we can really affect positively for the environment, because it really isn't necessary for us to be using all this garbage when we could be using reusable containers. Also, things such as water bottles, disposable water bottles, can obviously be avoided when they're the same price as reusable bottles and straws. There's also reusable straws. And a lot of people don't actually know about the pollution that landfill causes, but I'm going to go into detail in my paper about all the pollution and the problems that the landfill that we're contributing to is affecting the environment. And there's a lot of other negative effects which I'm going to talk about in my paper. But overall, I just would like to help us realize that we should be not consuming so much waste in landfill, and I'd like to argue for zero waste stores and just an overall change in society's way of living, because it's obviously having some very negative effects on the environment. So Thank you.